So you fail to break through like the myriad of transmissions or to like get a lockdown. You argue for a while with the various Vox command officers to try to get through to an interrogator Tyrus, but most of them have no fucking clue what you're talking about or who the hell you are. Some of them think you're like spies and things like that, and you basically argue for like the better part of 2 or 3 hours with a bunch of random comm officers sitting somewhere, and you get pretty much nowhere.
Good,
I ask for their names so they can be executed later.
They conveniently do not give you their names.
Could we try calling the Imperial Guard with the Colonel's rank and number and get a Valkyrie to come pick us up so we could...
Yeah, so he goes through and he starts filling with it himself, okay? And he gives you some frequencies to try and contact, so if you want to make it again with a plus 20 this time. But this time he'll be contacting his superiors rather than Tyrus, if you know what I mean.
Okay, plus 20, which is actually plus 30 because...
Yeah, mind impulse unit, yeah.
Could I try to help?
If you have
tech use, yeah.
Yeah, then you can assist them, yeah.
Well, you go first then, Chris.
But I
You
don't
can,
get the
you
modifier.
can adjust the antennae or something. Yeah, you wouldn't get the modifier yet.
Oh, yeah, so I will a critical... I break the...
He breaks the antennae and you can't do it. Yeah. Nah, go ahead and make your roll anyway, plus 30.
Oh, mother...
No.
Alright, so it appears most of them either A, don't believe you because Demetris' unit, they've either never heard of it because there's so many regiments here, there's so many men in particular, they don't have it on record, or some presume he's, supposed to be several miles east of you so that you can't possibly be him, and various other things, but you seem to fail to convince or get through to anyone who can really help you in any way. So
I would have just Demetris talk to them and be like, this is my rank and number, this is like my serial code.
Like I said, the Imperium is notoriously inefficient. So, nope, you get through to nobody that knows who he is.
Again, I ask for their names so they can be executed later.
Did you actually tell them that they're going to be executed later, or do you say...
Yes, I say, give me your name so we can impose...
You get some harsh language back, and they basically just, cut you off.
Does it give us a plus 10, because he got found to be executed?
No.
Would I be able to try using my secret tongue Technolingua over the Voxcaster to try and get in contact with someone else who is a tech priest on some place where we need to get in contact with someone?
Yeah, you could have tried. You do know the Mechanicus has like a presence on almost every planet that has any form of technology. There is bound to be a small mission of them here somewhere. You don't know of any, or at least from what you know of the information here, you don't know of any forges or manufactorum of any significance on this planet. So if they are here, they maybe have an enclave or two in every large city and things like that. Probably a few of them in the palace or among the nobles as envoys and things like that. But other than that, it's unlikely they have a very large presence here. But maybe perhaps there's a Mechanicus adept or priest somewhere listening out for communication.
So I'm doing it kind of secretly using my Technolingua tongue.
Beep 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 beep. Yeah.
Can I get a plus 40 for trying this?
You can just roll Technolingua.
Okay.
And you can roll it at a plus 10.
001 001 001.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so after a couple of minutes of breaking through the transmissions, you get into what appears to be a lesser-known, more encrypted transmission. You say a few sacred rites to the Omnissiah that any, good standing adept or anyone who's well studied in machinery would understand. Then you get back some brief, coded beeping and various screechings of various frequencies as you get, it's basically like a 56k modem talking back to you.
Yeah.
And you get through to a small enclave of Adapts in the city of Verthand, who are, basically conducting the repairs of the fortifications and the machinery needed to get the city back into functioning order that was damaged during the siege. And they ask, what can they do for your brother?
I quickly hold my hand over the Voxcaster and ask Victus what the hell he actually wanted to speak to someone about.
The Valkyrie, just saying.
Yeah, transport.
Oh, we wanted to get a transport. Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly what George linked there actually.
Okay. Is this the song, the 40k modem?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Binary.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I say we require transport. We require a Valkyrie.
They pause for a moment and say, "Give us your coordinates, brother, and we will send a Arvis lighter to your location."
Good enough.
Again, I quickly say to Victus this about that what we're getting and say, is that fine?
Sorry, I did not understand.
They're going to send a
lighter.
shuttle,
Yeah,
a
sure.
lighter as they call it. Yeah. All right. So a few hours later, they come through and say that they have consulted with the Omnisaya and their servitors have prepped the lighter for launch, and they should be with you in a few hours.
Excellent. Thank you, brothers.
How many days did we cut off, like, by getting this transport?
Good couple of days.
Alright, cool.
So they beat back to you several litanies praising the Omnisaya, and they hope your good works continue, blah blah blah.
I hope that it's fully stocked with sacred unguents.
I prank called
Oh yeah,
them.
all over the walls, man.
Nice.
Oh,
Prank call
yeah.
them later on and just, like, tell them all the warp secrets I know.
Is that like the 40k version of a prank phone call?
It's like heresy!
Listen to all these warp secrets.
So about an hour and a half later, a lighter touches down in a clearing not too far from you, and a number of what you can tell is Skitari come out of the vehicle and look around and seem to be waiting for someone to approach. I guess you approach them, Ficus?
Yes.
Okay, so the Skitari sort of salute you, and with the sign of the Omnisai as they approach, and they say, "Honored brother, we have come to serve you. What is your destination?"
I tell them our destination.
So you want to head to Vertan, to the palace, yeah?
Yes, the palace.
Okay, so the palace is called Heaven's Throne, and they nod without any sort of sign of disobedience or anything, because they've basically been mind wiped and turned into semi-cyborgs that obey the priests without question. And they take you and your little group, including the Imperial Guard, into the lighter. It's a bit of a tight fit, but you all get in. Then they launch, and for about 2 hours, you guys rest and recuperate, and have a rather pleasant journey. If you guys want to ask the Skitari anything about the developing events, maybe they know anything, but Skitari are generally more or less, basically slightly above servitors. They have like a mind of their own, but they're basically programmed to just obey the tech priests. So they might know stuff, but they might not. It's totally up to you.
Could I try and hook my data slate into them and see if I can get any recent information without asking them any questions?
No, they're not quite mindless, if you know what I mean. So they're like super loyal Imperial Guardsmen would be the best way I could describe them. Just,
super loyal.
Yeah, but just massively bionic out, if you know what I mean. Like their arms, their limbs are fully bionic. They have like superior weaponry, like advanced hell guns and things like that, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, like 2 or 3 maybe could kill us.
Yeah.
All. I maybe have trouble with Boone because of his hell gun, but yeah. We've killed them as Space Marines.
Yeah, there was guys you fought on Samek, except they were corrupted versions of them.
Yeah.
By the way, I turn to one Skitari and I say I'd like to donate 91 Throne Geld to the
dark gods.
no, to the Mechanicus for this great assistance.
Aww.
Okay.
Puts it in one of those things that the coin rolls down, spirals, and flips up and finally goes into a thing.
Yeah, then loads of flashing lights go off.
Yeah.
Alright, so after about an hour and a half, unless you guys don't want to ask them anything, you guys land on a spaceport, docking bay. Besides thousands of other lighters, you see Imperial Guard troops moving around, and you can see that there's a kind of, even though things are organized, there's kind of a frantic build-up to move troops, and you're not exactly quite sure what's going on. But it seems like something is definitely happening. The Skitari gets out, and he sort of bows again to you, Ficus, and he just gives you the coordinates of where you need to go, and he points, and it's kind of hard to miss. In the distance, not too far away, you see this immense structure, and he tells you that that's the palace called Heaven's Throne, and it looks like this. This is what you can see in the distance.
Wow, fancy.
Oh yeah.
So that massive-ass structure in the middle is actually the central plinth of the palace that you need to go up to get to the throne room, where this queen apparently rules this world, but is being debated by the other. This is why the whole rebellion started, because basically the others didn't want her to rule the world, but she, according to her and the Imperium, who backs her, she rules the world, so she lives there. So this is the seat of power for House Cerra, which are the most powerful noble family on the planet. So that's where you guys need to go, or at least that's where Tyrus said he would be about a month ago. So perhaps he is still there.
Do we still get paid, by the way, for this month?
You will get paid if Tyrus is there, because he gives you money.
Yeah.
Well, not him personally. It's actually his
Yeah.
adjutant, that woman whose name I can't recall right now.
So, how does our tech priest cope with the stairs?
Well, he has legs, dude.
But yeah,
No,
Yeah, he's
I
not-
use the Stannis stair lift.
No, but
So do you-
surely he takes it very slowly because he's so fucking heavy, right?
So Demetris is eager to get whatever the hell this is over with, but he tells all of his men to go off and inform the Imperial command, and he gives them his license. Sorry, not his number, his serial number. He gives them his mark, indicating that it comes straight from him. He writes like a literal parchment and like seals it with wax and sends the information along that they need reinforcements, that there's a disruption field, blah 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 blah. But even looking around right now, you can see that it's like almost chaos here. Like there's hundreds of Imperial guardsmen everywhere. You can see like marching off, gathering whatever supplies they can. You see troop transports leaving literally every few minutes, like large, shuttle ships like heavy Valkyries and other things like taking off with troop transport. So you can see that like the Imperial Guard here is definitely mobilizing for something, but you have no idea what's going on. But everything here is in a frantic state, if you know what I mean. So do you guys just want to go straight to the palace, or do you want to like try and find out what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I think we
That's
should find out
every-
what the fuck's going on.
And we should report to our superiors first. Like, fuck, we don't give a shit what's gonna happen to this planet. We'll be leaving here and like as soon as our job's done. And plus, he'll most likely inform us as well what the fuck's going on once we get there. Once we find him, that's our most important thing.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's kind of up to Victus. You kind of made him
yeah.
the de facto leader. So
Yeah,
well,
it-
like, that's
Yeah,
what-
so shut up,
Uh,
Mordecai.
Wow.
You can't see what's going on.
I agree. Our priority is getting.
yeah, he can't see what's going on.
on.
What a guy's like, what's all this rushing? What's going on?
How many
So,
times do I get bumped?
what do I have to roll to find Tyrus
Feed
quickly?
Wonder.
You don't have to do anything to find Tyrus. You just literally have to walk there, which will take maybe like an hour or so to walk to the palace entrance, then walk up all the steps and all that shit.
I
So-
find it very strange there is no nobleman transport for these stairs.
No, there is not, because all the noblemen just literally land on the docking bays up above, if you know what I mean, and just go straight in, whereas you guys are approaching through like the stairs. You may be a nobleman, but the thing is, the Imperium is so large, there's literally billions of noblemen, and you're not a nobleman of this world, if you know what I mean. And because you're essentially working undercover for the Inquisition, they don't really know who you are, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you guys walk there for an hour. You go through a very large, Vertand wouldn't be a hive world, but like as you can see there, the structures are like monolithic, if you know what I mean. Like it's well on its way to turn into the world's first hive world at some point. So you get to Heaven's Throne and are immediately stopped by a rather large group of what you can tell is sort of some planetary defense force, like noble House Cerra grenadiers of some kind. They're wearing very elaborate armor, have some very good equipment, and there's a large group of them like guarding various parts. And what do you think looks like a colonel, judging by his badge, comes up to you and asks you who exactly you are and what is your purpose with House Cerra.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we did get an Inquisition seal, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and that's on George.
Yeah,
Yeah,
George has Inquisitor Interrogator Tyrus' seal.
I present the seal and I ask for as soon as possible to meet with Interrogator Tyrus.
Okay. So they look at the seal for a moment, and then they just he walks away for a minute, like considering, and then sort of you can see he's calling something on his Vox communicator. A few minutes go by, and he comes back to you and hands you the seal and says, "Welcome, honored guests. Your master in the Inquisition is awaiting you above. Please enter the Ascender and meet him in the throne section, which is this part up here." So they let you into the Ascender, unless anyone has any qualms or anything.
I just let him by him just because fuck him.
So You spend nearly, not even joking, maybe 10 minutes going up the ascender because it's such a massive distance to go. Then you have to get out around here and take another one that brings you all the way up. Let me just get you the next bit. I have to copy paste you from the other thing.
Does the Ascender have elevator music?
Yeah, it's playing some
Okay,
like
then
Mozart or something.
then I
Opera.
don't mind.
Oh yeah, like everything here is gilded. Like literally everything is made out of like ivory or jewels and things like that, and has like a blue or silver sheen to it. If you know what I mean.
I
Flo
enjoy the
died and went to
craftsmanship.
heaven.
Oops,
But
sorry.
it's like
Yeah,
everything that
Flo,
happens through that.
you've literally never seen anything so like opulent in your life. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, she thinks she's dead.
I just enjoy examining the lift as we use it. Oh yeah, look at this lift.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
touch its circuitry.
you get up there, and you meet Interrogator Tyrus at the entrance, and he just sort of looks you over and says, "Acolytes, I had not heard from you in a great many weeks. I had feared something ill had happened to you. Report."
Do we get rid of fatigue and full
Yeah,
healed
you
now?
would have been gone from fatigue for a while, yeah.
I apologize for the time taken, but we had to walk our way because the rebel forces have stopped Fox communications, and we had to take the larger route.
He shakes his head and says, "You mean the disruption field? Yes, that was blocking Vox communications."
Yes.
He smiles a rather grim smile and says, "No, my friend, I'm afraid that has nothing to do with the orcs or your traitorous rebel houses. I'm afraid to report to you that Thaddia Primaris has been, by order of the Inquisition, has been blocked from all communication with the rest of the Imperium. A inquisitorial fleet has blockaded Thaddia Primaris and the entire Thaddia system, and there is now over 1,000 black ships of the Inquisition in orbit around Thaddia. It seems that someone far higher up of us has deemed this world to be of exceptional harm to the Imperium, and if matters here are not put to rest rather quickly, I fear for the fate of this world, to say the least. Even now, ships in orbit are being orbitally positioned for exterminatus if the need arises."
If I can, I'd pipe up and say, if the need arises, would we be able to get a shuttle off planet before it happens?
He nods and says, "Yes, of course, all inquisitorial forces and those deemed to be of, primary significance to the Imperium will be evacuated. However, the billions that call this world home will not be so lucky. We cannot fail our investigation here. The fate of a world depends on it, and perhaps the Imperium." Alright, so he says, "Have you brought the man I asked you to find?"
I point to Colonel Demetris. Our objective is safe and here.
Okay, so he just sort of waves his hand to the man and asks him to come forward. So Colonel Demetris approaches, bows, makes the sign of the Aquila, and says, "Honored interrogator, your acolytes got me and my men through some very difficult circumstances. You've trained them well. I'm honored to have been a part of their band." So Tyrus sort of smiles for a minute and says, "Honored enough to disagree with orders and cause a month's delay in our investigation here, no doubt, yes?" Demetris just sort of grimaces for a bit and says, "I couldn't abandon my men. I wouldn't waste their lives so needlessly. It had to be done. I'm sorry." And then the interrogator sort of looks at him flatly for a moment and then literally just shouted at him, "Your weak-mindedness and your inability to see the larger picture is typical of men of your station, Colonel. While you may have saved them in the short term, your delay may have cost not only their lives, but the lives of this entire system. I will see that you're reprimanded, but first you will tell me everything you know about the man called Karrack. Is that understood?" And Demetris sort of, looks forlorn for a moment and says, "Very well, interrogator. if that's all. So Tyrus just sort of looks at him for a moment and says, "Yes, that is all." He looks back to you and says, "I have another task for you, Acolytes, while I'm debriefing Demetris here. Queen Alesana has asked for the assistance of the Inquisition personally, and I can see no others more fit to aid her in this task than your cadre. While I'm taking Demetris back to the Light of Alantaris to debrief him on what he knows, I will update you with whatever information I acquire in that time. You are to aid her in any way possible. Is that understood?"
Of course, yes.
Okay. So Tyrus sort of smiles at you and says, "Oh, I believe this is yours." And he throws you a big pouch of clinky coins, which is your pay for the month. Okay.
Hurrah.
I give my pay to Mira.
Oh my god.
There you go. I
Like
don't
a
need
king.
money, man.
You also note there is a bonus of 100 throne geld for all of you on the side of it.
What, 100 per person?
Per person, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You get 191 then, Mira. Don't need money, man. Fuck, man. I got lightning shit. I guess as, like, he starts taking the colonel away and I'm saying, I put my, like, I try and find his shoulder, I guess, or, like, come close and say, I apologize for what is to come, but should have agreed to come with us at the first order.
He just looks at you and says, "If it spares my men their lives, I will do anything."
I just, like, shake my head a little bit and just, like, walk off and, yeah.
Okay. So those two go off. They get into lift again with Interrogator Tyrus's personal storm trooper kind of guys, and they head off. So you guys are expected in the central hall.
I suggested to the party that we only send Victus and Mira forward, and maybe the Honor Tech Priest, for the rest of us are too lowly to be shown in front of a queen of a planet.
I say that that might be true, but we are all members of the Inquisition, and each one of us might have knowledge to aid Queen. So, as long as no unpleasantries are made, we should be going as a group.
I see, Mira, if you don't mind, I could use a hand.
Fucking ready to throw you on board at some point.
So I suppose as a nobleman, I know the pleasantries to approach a queen.
Yep. There's various courtesies and the general things that are found throughout most of the Imperium. You know, just bowing. You should never like make eye contact unless they address you. You should approach at a very slow walk, if you know what I mean, rather than briskly, and a whole lot of other like hundreds of niceties you should do not to insult your guests or insult your hosts. Or...
I'll tell to the group to imitate every movement I make. And
I apologize, I would not be able to do this.
You can't see.
Yeah.
I give a quick rundown of the most important courtesies I have to someone has to make to a queen.
Alright, okay. Darkoff will attempt the bow, and if he falls on his face, he's gonna blame Victus.
Cameo. Okay, so we approach very slowly, like making bows.
You don't actually have to move slowly. I'll just presume you did it.
Doing
bow to
like
fucking every single person you walk past.
Every 4 steps you bow.
I run there.
Boone fucking sprints and does a drop kick.
Yeah, he does all the things that Victor say, but he does it like intentionally bad.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't give a fuck about nobles.
I distort vision and teleport every 10 meters to get down there.
Jesus Christ. Alright, so you guys get there, you observe the niceties. You can hear a lot of hushed talking and not so hushed talking as the various minor nobles bound to House Cerra, or Cerran, sorry, and other, actual Cerrans, like third cousins twice removed, blah blah blah, kind of things, like whisper and talk between themselves. The Royal Guard, you can immediately tell, are extremely well trained and have some very nice weapons. Each of them has a power sword and some very, very nice flak armor, very intricately carved. Some of the captains, in fact, have power armor of one kind or another, and they all have some very nifty custom las rifles of some kind. When you get there, Queen Alesana just sort of languidly lounges on her throne and just sort of observes you with her actual eye and her bionic eye, which is masterly crafted, you can tell. Her dress seems to be made of shimmer silk, which is basically something that constantly changes hues and colors as you approach. And as you get there, she just sort of tilts her head very slowly as you like make your bows and like stay low. And then she finally tells you in a very soft voice to rise, champions of the Inquisition. And she sort of like looks over you very slowly and smiles at each of one of you, even at Flo, who's clearly very out of place here, to say the least.
Oh, Flo is doing her best to kind of hide behind Ficus or just whoever's nearest. She's staying in the absolute back, but can't help like peering around at the queen and kind of like ducking back away. Like doesn't like wants to be invisible, but still wants to see everything.
Yep. So she just like doesn't say anything for a moment and just like talks while people murmur, and then she finally puts up a hand and everyone goes like kind of deathly quiet, and she just says, "Who speaks for you?"
I raise my head. Greetings, Queen Alesana Cerra, Idol. And I present myself.
Okay, so she just sort of smiles again and says, "Well met, you are of noble birth, are you not?"
Yes, indeed.
It is great to have such an honoured guest from another world within our grand and noble hall. I believe Interrogator Tyrus has pledged your support for my cause, is it not?
Yes, you are correct. You give us great honor in this.
Alright, so she smiles again and says, "I must say I am rather worried by the actions of the Inquisition. There are a great many of your ships now in orbit. They in fact dwarf the Imperial fleet that came here to save our world from the wretched traitors that rose against us. While I do not doubt that the Inquisition knows better than I the whims of the great Emperor, and we all serve in his name one way or another, I must say the presence of so many ships has brought great alarm to my world and caused a great many murmurings through my court. Would you perhaps know more of what the presence of such a mighty fleet is doing in orbit around my world?"
Outside the game, she's basically asking to...
She wants to know, she, like, literally the Inquisition wouldn't have told her why they're here, so she's basically trying to probe you to find out what the fuck is going on, basically.
Inquisition are assholes. Sorry, I didn't say that in character.
Oh yeah, the Inquisition are massive assholes, but they're literally the only reason the Imperium hasn't fallen apart yet, so...
Everyone in 4K is an asshole.
Do you guys remember how many fate points I have used? I think it was only one, right?
No, you used all of them.
All of them? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Myself, I would know it would be a bad idea to give all the information to the Queen, or...
Oh yeah, very bad. If she doesn't know already, that means Tyrus like specifically hasn't told her what you're doing here or who you're looking for, so... So if you were to tell her, it'd be bad, yeah.
Maybe I should just tell her that I also do not know the full extent on this.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that even most Inquisition
only the higher ups really know what's going on.
Only the higher ups, yeah.
Alright, so she sort of frowns with scorn for a moment and says, "That is unfortunate. However, Tyrus has promised you will aid me in a task, is that not so?" Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so she smiles again and says then, "Well, I will trust in the judgment of the gracious Emperor. After all, does he not protect?" And then she sort of looks at you again and says, "There is a small matter I would wish for you to deal with here. A member of a minor house bound to me has gone silent in recent days, and their citadel inside the city has been blocked off from any outside access. I've tried to make contact with them a number of times, but all attempts at communication have failed. I do not wish to be seen as a tyrant and to simply storm their house to find out what they're doing. It is their privilege to seek privacy if that is what they desire. But I have requested all of my houses and vassals to raise arms against the foul traders in the east, and this house has failed to do so. No one has seen any of their number for a great many months, and I have grown worried for their safety, you see. I must look after my vassals. I would ask that you enter or infiltrate their citadel in Verthand and find out what has become of them. Could you accomplish this?
You are indeed a great queen. Yes, this will be done.
Okay, so she smiles again and says, "That is good. The noble house you were infiltrating is called Obrook." Okay, that one there.
Mm-hmm.
It has been many months, as I said, since anyone has received any communication or seen any of the Obrook family in public. And then she sort of, instigates to one of the sort of, very high up guard, and he walks over in his power armor and hands you a data slate, Victus, and then walks back. The data slate has a number of passcodes, a lot of information about the family, where their citadel is located, their genealogy, and pretty much everything you would ever need. She just smiles at you and says, if you could, establish what has exactly happened in their citadel, or if they are in fact just simply seeking a need for privacy, that would be of great value to me, though you must remind them of their duties to their queen and their world, and that their armies should be aiding us in battle. They are a small family, holding little more than a reputable name and the citadel in which they reside, but their few hundred guardsmen are quite well trained and perhaps would be of benefit to the current war effort, and they cannot shirk their duties much longer. If that is all, or if you have any questions, I wish you luck.
I turn to the group, and if you have any questions, tell me so I can be the middleman.
I guess I try and walk forward a little bit and then whisper into his ear. They ask if any of these nobles had any particular powerful psychers or any strange markings on their bodies or tattoos that they were very proud of.
I inquired politely, Queen Alesana, if that house is known to have any powerful psychers.
So Queen Sarah sort of sniffles her nose for a moment and looks somewhat shocked and says, "Oh my, no, they come from a reputable background. None in their genealogy have ever bared the taint of the psyker, foul as it is. It is against the law for such creatures to inhabit positions of nobility in this world. If anything, Obrook has been known as a house of scholars and clergymen for a great many years. They are rather well respected. I would be very astounded to find that they bear the taint of any sort of psyker."
Warp
Mordecai
taint.
is very deeply offended by this, but just doesn't say anything.
Well, that's what psychers get treated like in the Imperium.
Yeah, I know, but fucking... Isn't this planet Mordecai, I guess, for since
Yeah,
it's more...
it's well known for it, but all the people in positions of power have no psychers in their genealogy.
Yeah, I guess Mordecai expected that since there was the higher average that they would be treated with more respect.
Oh no, even worse disdain because they've caused chaos throughout the years. So.
Oh god, I just fucking lightning bolt her, just like bitch.
And I shoot myself when.
In fact, before the coming of the Imperium, the single reason Thaddia didn't descend into chaos or get consumed by warp demons is because they literally had religious fanatics and cults that went around murdering every psyker they could get their hands on.
Oh.
So before the Imperium arrived, it was basically a constant bloody witch hunt until the Imperium arrived and started organizing things, if you know what I mean.
Can you recognize a psyker by sight?
No, there are tests to
Okay.
determine if someone
Void
is
comp
psychic.
machine.
But I'm guessing Mordecai is like, since his old age, like they have psychos have certain robes, don't they? Yeah.
Psychics of what, sorry?
Like psychos have different robes, like different garbs than like
Well,
everyone else.
Depending upon what like order or they belong to, they might look different. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like for instance, you're wearing like the order of the Thaddia Primaris, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Mordecai stands out as a psycho, you know, like blind and like
Yeah, exactly.
he wouldn't be of any use unless he was an adept of some
Yeah,
kind.
like you can tell even just by listening to the whispering going around that like a great many of them are like discussing what a fell creature you are and things like that.
Mordecai is just like hating this right now.
Yeah, like they on this world they treat psychers in particularly like pretty horrible. Like they tolerate like astropaths and things like that, and other people that are needed, but like they even like chain their astropathic choirs up and like never let them leave the astropathic choir room and things like that. If you know what I mean.
I guess they don't have any navigator houses.
They do have a navigator house, but it's constantly in orbit and never leaves the space station because it hates the place, and it's only here because it has to be.
Yeah,
and it keeps as few people as possible here. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, without anything else to ask, I asked Queen Alesana Cerra permission to leave to resolve the task entrusted to us.
Sorry, what'd you say? Just repeat that.
Basically, I just asked if we are all allowed to leave so we can do our task.
She says, yes, of course, you're free to come and go as you will. If you complete this task for me, of course, you will be justly rewarded in return. And she just sort of smiles at you. Boon's already leaving.
Yeah, as I will. So.
I leave, never turning my back to the Queen and bowing like every 5 steps.
Yep, that's about right.
I use the robot dance to walk away.
Does the robot as he walks away.
Yeah, Flo mimics Victus.
Mordecai just walks with Mira, I guess, like leading him, just like turns his back and just walks completely out.
Okay.
Does the sad piano play?
Yeah, and then like once he gets out of room, like fucking a little bit of lightning just charges from his head and eyes sockets, just a bit pissed off.
So some of you have to leave soon, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. I could go for another half an hour.
I think I'll end it here because the next bit might take a while.
Okay.
So it'd be better just to do it in one go than it is to like break it up into hundreds of parts.
Alright.
So we'll just go over experience. So you guys finally got back to Verthand. You defeated the War boss, so you get 300 experience. Yeah, 300 experience, and that's it. Yeah.
Ooh.
All together.
I'll take it.
Oh. Can I get experience from like not blowing the Queen up for being a bitch?
No.
Damn it.
Did the Queen like Victus ass kissing?
Oh yeah, she seemed quite pleased with you guys. And
Roll for
you-
ass
for that?
kissing.
if you accomplish her like what she wants you to do, she may reward you quite well because she's rich as balls.
Good.
I mean, look at her fucking palace, man. I mean, that shit screams rich as fuck.
I think this needs another word for like there's rich and there's something about this.
Oh yeah, like the rogue traders and like nobles in the Imperium make like Bill Gates look like a pauper, basically. Like when you own a world, you're pretty rich.
On the way out, I say, Flo, I would have no qualms with you taking a little thing from here and there.
I would not dare. Flo ain't stupid.
You could try. I mean, there's literally like gemstones encrusted into the wall that you could like pluck out if you were tempted.
Yeah, but she doesn't need to survive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Do you want
it's
to? Well, you
just
actually have
cool
to roll your thing that you.
Yeah, I have to roll my income. It's like steal a little gem here.
Yeah.
Maybe do it at night when there's not so many people standing around.
Alright, so things have developed a bit more in Thaddia. You now have a mission to go and infiltrate this noble house to find out what happened to them. You successfully got Demetris back to Tyrus, and yeah, you can see things are definitely escalating to some degree.
So just to get a small rundown, we need to just check up on that noble house and make them help
Yeah.
the queen.
Yep,
basically.
they're literally in a citadel where everything has been locked down and no one has left for like months on end, so no one knows what's happened to them. No one's seen any of their family members, their servants, their guardsmen. So the whole like it's basically like a giant tower, if you know what I mean, made of like basically. Have you guys seen the movie like Dread, the new movie?
Nope.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it.
Yeah, you know the giant mega tower things.
Yeah.
That's basically the equivalent of what like a noble's citadel is in Warhammer. So it's a big giant fucking fortress tower. Yeah.
After this, can we make ingredient tests for buying stuff?
Oh yeah, you guys can buy stuff. Like there's literally thousands of merchants that will sell you almost anything. So
New guns it is.
Nice. By the way, if you guys want to buy stuff that it's important and you don't have the money, you know where the bank is.
Yeah, I have
The
250.
Bank of Victus. I've been saving up. I have 117. Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, I have 3k.
How much income do you have?
he's a
700.
noble. He has like ridiculous thing.
700.
He's
I
a
have
noble.
60.
Yeah. His noble family sends him a stipend. That's the thing. See, now you can see the income inequalities in the Imperium.
Yeah, Gabriel is not at all happy with like Victus's ass kissing. By the way,
I've got like 633 at the moment. Oh yeah.
I just give all mine to Mira for being my walking stick.
Yeah. I think I have 382 right now.
And like, I get 100 increments per level, I think. So,
Jesus.
like, at level 5, I'll be getting like 1,000 per month. Something like that.
1,000.
But I would be all be fully healed.
I think you're all fully healed anyway.
I think Boone had a bit of
Oh yeah,
damage.
yeah, I had 10, so I needed to like heal 3.
Oh.
I thought we
yeah,
said
over
we
the,
healed.
yeah, every
'cause-
day you heal 1 anyway when you're lightly wounded, and it's been a couple of days, so you would
Yeah.
be fine. Yeah.
But right now, guys, I have seal wounds, so I heal 1d10 points of damage, and if I overlead by
Feel free to bump your fate points back up, by the way, because they're bound to your other tokens anyway. So.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, is there any way to gain fate points in this?
Yeah, by completing monumental objectives, just like that watch.
Oh, okay.
So, like, a monumental objective would be capture Karrack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, okay.
Save the planet.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I didn't gain 1 insanity point this time because I'm at 19.
I like how I rolled so many goddamn die, and not one of them perilled.
Yeah, good job on that today.
You rolled about 7 10s. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like, no perils.
All 9s next time.
I wouldn't mind, to be honest. Make more things more interesting.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go now. So
Yep.
see you guys.
See you later, guys.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching.
Bye bye, everyone who watched the stream.
Break